So pain is a huge problem in the United States. As such, the pharmacies has resorted to the use of opioids to help alleviate the problem of pain. However, the increased use of opioids, of course, leads to the increased abuse of opioids. And this, of course, leads to more government regulations to protect people. However, I don't find the solution to opioid abuse just to be increased regulations. The solution to opioid crisis will require mutual cooperation and education of the public and doctors, that way to acknowledge the legitimate need of paying patients while seeking to minimize the risk of overdose. So the opioid epidemic is a huge problem because it has a very national extent and that affects a lot of people all across the country. And it also has a high fatality rate, which in 2010 means that there's a higher risk of overdose than there were of car accidents. However, I find the simple ban overdose to not be viable because this prevents actual patients from receiving the medication they need. A study showed that doctors often underprescribe or even refuse to prescribe outright pain medication just to avoid trouble with the law, and that's not beneficial to anybody. So my first solution would to just better educate patients and doctors about both the benefits and the risk of opioids. One thing with the general public is that opioids often aren't seen as harmful due to the fact that it's legal, and that mentality is often dangerous and leads to a lot of overdose deaths. There's also this misconception of doctors intentionally overprescribing medicine to make profits, which is rarely the case. Doctors outside the pain field often don't have the education required to properly prescribe pain medicine in the adequate amount. And what this leads to is that they'll prescribe too much pain medicine for too long, and the extra medicine will fall into the hands of friends and families of the patient. So my second solution would just to be build trust between the government agency and within the medical field. Because with this trust, it allows the DEA, the drug enforcement agencies, to work together with doctors to find a viable solution and set standards and common practices, which could help normal doctors to better prescribe pain medication in both effective but safe dosages for the patients. And also the cooperation between the medical field and the government allows the DA to be able to catch doctors that might not be doing the right thing and malpractice. So during my research, I first had a lot of trouble finding competent sources. I found a few newspaper articles that weren't really that useful. However, with some help with classmates and I better understood the library, I was able to find more sources and broaden my search, and that's really useful. That's one of the problems I faced. And for one of the most useful sources I found, it was a directive written by the FDA. It's like 30 pages. And the report offered me a bunch of statistics and data. It showed demographic trends within and outlined potential causes and solutions to the problem. Thank you.